Hi everybody, Tess Crawley here, clinical and forensic psychologist and director of Dr. Tess Crawley and Associates, coming to you live on a sunny Sunday afternoon here in Hobart. I wanted to talk today about online communities. Most of you will know that I have started a closed Facebook page called the Stigma Rebellion, which is for those of you who are interested in the information that I share online. You can join that closed group, and it's a bit more of a private forum for sharing your thoughts and your ideas. Speaking of, I'd better actually share into the Stigma Rebellion. I don't want everyone in there to miss out today. And I thought that what I might actually do is share with you some incredible experiences that I've had in some closed Facebook communities this year. So just a minute while I put that onto the Stigma Rebellion. In we go. Thanks, gang, for being so patient. Right, and we're away. So I've been a member of a couple of closed Facebook groups this year. A couple of those have been psychologist and allied mental health professional groups, and I've also started a couple of other groups for mental health professionals. So I've started a closed community called the Rural Mental Health Professionals Australia, which is a closed Facebook group for mental health professionals and health professionals too, who have an interest in or are working in rural areas of Australia. And I've also started a closed community, Facebook community for psychology supervisors, and that one's called Psychology Supervisors Australia, and that's for supervisors of psychologists who are approved supervisors, which means that they can supervise the work of other psychologists and help them develop their skills and experience and so on. And that's been a great thing. You know, I've really enjoyed setting up those groups, and I've really enjoyed being a participant in the groups that I've been a member of. And it's given me the opportunity to reflect a little bit on what it means to be part of what's the word I'm looking for? I guess, you know, people refer to it as being, you know, as finding your tribe. Being part of a group of like-minded individuals with similar issues, similar needs, similar difficulties. Now, obviously, I'm talking about on a professional level, but very recently, I have been a member of, I've talked once or twice about Mel Robbins, and she's running a course called The Power of You, which I joined for the purpose of trying to clarify some of my goals for the year ahead. And it's been an interesting process because it's not a professional group, it's a group of, you know, people from all around the world. I think there's something like 1,500 members. But as a psychologist, within the group, obviously I'm not there as a psychologist, but I still am one. It's been fascinating to me to observe just how vulnerable people have allowed themselves to be within that group, and you know, and saying things and acknowledging that they're saying things that they would never say on their own personal Facebook group pages, and that they might never talk about with their friends or family. But because it's a closed community and we're all in there for the same reason, they're feeling very safe and very supported. Even though 1,500 people, that's a lot of people to talk very openly and candidly about very personal information. It struck me how I've not been witness in any of the groups that I've been a member of or the groups that I've started. I've not been witness to one incident of trolling or unkindness. I've seen nothing but support and validation and cheerleading of each other, and that's been quite an amazing thing to witness. Now, recently I had a chat to a client. Oh, hi Janet, I can see you've joined today. Welcome. Recently I had a chat with a client about the idea of trying to find some Facebook communities that might be of relevance to her. And so putting all of this information together, I thought it was really useful perhaps to talk today about this idea of, if you're feeling isolated or you're feeling like that you can't talk to your friends and family about what's going on for you in your life, finding a group of like-minded people. Now, it might be to do with mental health issues. It might be to do with parenting. It might be to do with, being a fly-in, fly-out family where one partner's away for large chunks of time. There are so many groups now on Facebook that if you find one that speaks to your personal experience and an experience that you're either struggling with, whether it's struggling emotionally or something that you're trying to achieve in your life, if you have a look on Facebook, I think you'd be bound to find at least one group in the world of people who are in a similar situation to you and have formed a group, a little community. Mostly these groups require you to request to join. So, for example, with the Stigma Rebellion, you request to join, and I automatically, or manually, but I also will, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't weed people in and out. Everybody's allowed in to the Stigma Rebellion. But it is a process. You just ask to join and I will automatically grant you that permission to join in if that's what you want to do. And there are lots and lots of groups around there like that. So as a little experiment, I thought, well, let's have a little look on Facebook. If you go into the search window at the top left hand of your Facebook page, and let's say we wanted to search, let's search postnatal depression. So we search that, and then what Facebook does is it gives you a running option along the top where there's all, or there's posts, people, photos, videos, pages, places, groups, apps, and events. And you want to click on groups. So you look at groups, and then all of a sudden we see 1, 2, 3, 4. There's easily, oh gosh, it goes on and on. There are just lots of them. Now, some of those groups will be dedicated to professionals working together. So I'm a member of one of them, which is for, it's an interest group for psychologists with an interest in perinatal depression, because of course we, as a practice, have a very strong interest in perinatal and infant mental health. So I'm a member of one of those groups. But there's a group here called Postnatal Depression, the Male Perspective. So there's another group, Postnatal Depression and Postpartum Psychosis Support Group. So there are all sorts of groups. If we try another search, let's look for social anxiety. Why not? We look up social anxiety. We click on groups. There's a social anxiety resource centre, social anxiety club, parenting kids or teens with social anxiety disorder. There are groups all over the place about social anxiety. You get my point? If you're a rose gardener and you want to know, how you can, improve your skills as a rose gardener, I'm sure you'd find a group on Facebook of rose gardening enthusiasts. So it's not just mental health stuff. It's about whatever it is that you're really interested in life. If you want to get some support in achieving those goals. We've talked about goals before. We've talked about getting support from social networks and things before. But if you're finding it hard to find people locally, or you feel like you've hit the limit of talking to friends and family, because sometimes we do feel like we don't want to talk extensively, whether it's about our work or about our emotional experience. Sometimes we feel that we don't want to burn people out. So finding a group online can be a really helpful additional resource. Obviously not necessarily going to be your only resource. Now today I had the most incredible experience giving you a personal example of how this can work for you. In this Power of You, Mel Robbins group, we're meant to be, identifying our goals for the next month that are going to springboard us into what we're going to be working on as our own personal projects for the next 12 months. And I say obviously, but I've been, that I've been going to the gym, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe my goals will be in the sort of health domain, and maybe I'll look at some health related goals. Maybe I could look at my work related goals, and that can be around time management. Maybe I could structure my goal around something to do with work and restructuring my time. And I laid out a few of those relevant, really important goals, really useful goals for me, and things that I really should be addressing anyway, but none of them really sparked my interest. And then I was just scrolling through this closed community, this Power of You closed community, and a woman from America posted a live video that she had done addressing somebody that she would like to ask to be her personal mentor to help her with a project that she wants to work on. And it was a very personal project. I won't talk about what it was, but it was a very personal project, and it was performance related, and touching on topics to do with her childhood. And it sparked in me this really strong resonant chord about a passion project that I've wanted to work on for quite some time. And I actually did start working on this a few weeks ago, and it's a book that I'm going to write, and it's a book that's been rattling around in my head for a really long time. And hi Mel, welcome for joining, welcome, thank you. And so watching this woman's video, I commented on her video and thanked her for being really honest about what her project was going to be, and for being really brave for putting her personal information out there in this closed group forum, and acknowledged that she'd really inspired me to rethink my project for this group, that particular group, and look more at a passion project rather than a should project. Hi Judy, welcome, nice to have you here too. And what ensued was a conversation between myself and this woman from America, both of us just two independent members of this particular group, sharing some very surface level personal information about our backgrounds, about the projects we want to work on, and encouraging each other to push forward with these passion projects and to actually bring them into reality. And so I talked the other day about accountability with your goals, and so I've now formed a little bit of a relationship with this woman, or communication with this woman that I've never met on the other side of the world, and we will now keep each other accountable about pushing each other and reminding each other and inspiring each other to achieve those personal goals. So this is outside of my work, it's got very little to do with my work. So again, feeding back to you this notion that no matter what aspect of your life it is, if you're not getting the inspiration from what's around you, if you're not getting the support from what's around you, or if you think that there's just another level, like there's a next level of support and encouragement that you can get, have a look online. Have a look for those Facebook groups. Just do a random search on the topic that you're interested in, and I bet your bottom dollar you'll find a group of people who are in the same situation or a similar situation or have the same interests as you. And guess what? If you don't find the group you're looking for, you can start one yourself. There's no rules that say that you can't start your own group and put that out there and get it publicized, that it's on Facebook. You can advertise a group on Facebook, and before you know it, you'll have some like-minded people jumping on board with you. To give you an example, when I set up the Psychology Supervisors Australia Facebook closed community, within 48 hours or so, I had 70 members nationwide join that group, because there was such a need for support at that level. So have a look online, see what groups you can find, see what's out there that interests you, see what's out there that will support you if you're struggling with certain things. Obviously, the Stigma Rebellion is a great source of support. I'm feeding lots of information into that group, but likewise, you guys should feel welcome and safe to communicate within that group as well. And obviously, extending beyond the Stigma Rebellion, there are plenty of groups out there that can offer you some sense of belonging to a particular tribe, whatever that tribe might be for you. So that's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you're happy with the content of these videos. You can also, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and do feel free to drop a comment or get in touch via our website, tesscrawley.com.au. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care for now. Bye-bye.